Oh man, that's another thing I've been talking about recently is back when new metal was coming out, sort of the early
Yeah.
2000s when it was like not coming out actually, because I suppose it started in the 90s, but when it was
Yeah, I
like
feel you. When it exploded.
massive. You look back now, but at the time, people were going, "Oh, new
Right.
metal," and people say it now to like, "Oh, what a terrible era." I think it was one of the best eras of
Yeah.
metal ever because it was so huge, but it also birthed. That was the cool thing about new metal. If you listen to like 80s metal bands, a lot of them sound very similar. Do you know what I mean?
hmm
But the 80s spawned some incredible bands. Same with the 60s, same with every generation and era of music. And new metal was so diverse. I feel like when you say new metal, an automatic sound goes into your head.
Yeah.
But the reality is, you've got Slipknot on one end of that spectrum, Linkin Park on the other end of the spectrum. You've got Evanescence somewhere in the middle. You've got System of a Down. You've got Korn. You've got all these great bands that came from new metal, and they all sound so different. They're
hmm
so unique. Like Slipknot is a new metal band. They are,
Right.
but they do not sound anything like Linkin Park. And Linkin Park do
Yeah.
not sound anything like System of a Down, and so
And
I
Deftones.
just
Like,
think it's such a great era. I still listen to it. If I'm going to put on a metal album, chances are 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a new metal record from that era. Probably Toxicity or something, or
ah,
Iowa, but
yeah.
it's going to be from that era. And I still love listening to Metallica and all kinds of other metal bands too. But new metal, I don't know, holds a special place in my heart. Maybe it's my age.
I feel you, man. Because there is something like juvenile and fun about it. And like, did you get a chance to see that Woodstock documentary they did on Netflix?
That's the Limp Bizkit
hmm
Corn
hmm
Woodstock, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean,
With all the chaos happened.
that was absolute insanity. I can't.
hmm
I still go back and watch YouTube videos of the Corn and Limp Bizkit performances, and I'm
Yeah.
like, this is. Well, that's what I'm talking about, though. Look how big that festival was. How many
hmm
people were there? Like a million?
Dude, people, it was like one of the first like
Insane.
live like pay-per-views too. Like you people paid like $60 to watch it on TV. Like,
Just absolute insanity. There's something magic about looking at the footage and seeing that sea of people
yeah.
just bouncing in
Right.
unison. I'm just like,
Right.
whoa, this is
Right.
nuts.
Yeah, I mean, and like you were saying too, like all those bands, they all got lumped into the new metal umbrella, but they didn't sound anything like each other. Like I likened it to like almost like the emo thing in the early 2000s as well. Like there were so many bands that were called emo, but it's like All American Rejects didn't sound like Under Oath, but they all got called emo. Like
They all got called
it's weird how that
emo, yeah.
if you're just an alternative band that comes out in a certain time period, you get kind of lumped in.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? And I bet I don't think this probably isn't a new conversation. I bet you in the '60s, people were getting lumped under the same umbrellas and stuff too, and going, well, what? Why are we just because of the
Yeah,
generation, the era that
right,
we're playing music in?
right.